we can share lots of ideas and stuff. Okay. Moving on. CBP border chief said the Biden-Harris forced us to allow criminals in and terrorists. I left that off the thumbnail because when I upload this to YouTube, if I have the word terrorist in a thumbnail, YouTube says, no, we can't do that. So from Newsmax, now I have the video. This is a that's about a 5-minute video. This is straight from the chief's mouth, and I want him to tell us, but I'm going to give an overview here. From Newsmax, border chief warned not to disclose arrests of migrants with terrorist ties. A retired Border Patrol told lawmakers Wednesday the Biden administration directed him not to disclose arrests of illegal border crossers classified as significant interest aliens who had ties to terror. Retired San Diego Border Patrol chief, okay, that's a tricky one. Retired San Diego Border Patrol Chief Patrol Agent Aaron Hitke made the revelation while testifying before the House Committee on Homeland Security, saying that Biden-Harris open border policies have undermined our safety and security. Now, I'm just going to go straight to the video so you guys can hear it. But one of the questions I'm wondering is if at a certain point the president is responsible for our nation's security, is there a point in time where he can be held responsible, such as either being impeached or being sued? I know you can't sue the government, but could they sue him when he gets out of office? I don't know. But either way, this is a really, really big revelation. It is a big deal. It is worrisome. And let me move that out of the way. It is worrisome. And this is a big, big problem. I'm going to let the chief just play it from his own mouth, and we'll all sit here and listen to the deal.
Chairman, distinguished members, thank you for this opportunity. The only true consequence we have to slow down and discourage people from coming into the United States illegally is sending them back to their country of origin. Throughout the first 3+ years of this administration, I saw a steady decrease in the countries we could send people back to. For the first time in my 25 years and under 5 different administrations, whether through neglect or on purpose, I saw a large-scale lapse in our ability to return people to their country of origin. The inability to send people home meant that most people being arrested for illegal entry would either have to be detained or released. The current administration, however, from day one, made a point of decreasing the amount of detention space available nationwide. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's funding for detention has steadily been cut and private detention eliminated. The fact that so many illegal aliens are being released into the United States spread worldwide very quickly. As this happened, the numbers the Border Patrol encountered illegally crossing the border increased exponentially. The impact to me and my agents were significant. Sectors were ordered to take in and process all the illegal aliens encountered on the border. The Border Patrol saw groups of hundreds and thousands coming into the United States and turning themselves in. These numbers pulled 80, 90, sometimes 100% of the agents on duty away from the border. Border Patrol zones across Texas, Arizona, and California had no agent presence for weeks and months at a time. Those who did not want to be caught could simply walk in. We have no idea who and what entered our country over this time. Throughout 2022 and 23, I sent agents to Texas and Arizona to count gotaways. Those sectors could not even put enough agents in the field to see what they'd missed. Simultaneously, in San Diego, we had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year. These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests.
I want to pause it here for just a minute here, and because he's going to talk about all of this, but understand what this means. This means, number one, they knew the border was open. And everything I'm saying now, he's going to say, but listen to how critical this is. Number one, yes, we knew the border was open. Number two, we knew terrorists and gang members and criminals were coming across that had these records, and I was forced not to say anything. Now, this is my problem. He should have been a whistleblower. He should have come forward and done a whistleblow, even if it meant he lost his job. That's how I feel about this. He's going to go on and speak about fentanyl, that it was $10 a pop when this first started, and now it's 25 cents for one little pill. All these things he was given direct orders to not talk about. That's not we just have an open border. It is we are inviting these people here, allowing them in, including the worst people we know are dangerous. That is probably one of the biggest crimes you could do as a president against our own country, other than like ordering the military to attack small civilian towns. This is massive.
The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border. Fentanyl is another issue. The San Diego area sees between 80 and 90% of the methamphetamine and fentanyl seizures annually for our entire country. With little enforcement at the border, these drugs were coming through in mass. During my last year in San Diego, the price for a single pill of fentanyl, for example, went from $10 to 25 cents. To make matters worse, during 2022 and 23, I had to shut down San Diego traffic checkpoints, which are critical for drug interdiction, because the resources had been diverted to the process and release mission. The large numbers also had and still have a negative impact on the San Diego community. I had to release illegal aliens by the hundreds each day into communities who could not support them. To quiet the problem, 2 flights a week were provided from San Diego to Texas. These flights simply brought aliens that would have been released in San Diego over to Texas. Each flight cost approximately $150,000. This was the administration's way to try and quiet the border-wide crisis.
I don't mean to keep pausing and interrupting this, but if I don't, I'll forget what he just said. To stop the overloading of San Diego and other areas where all these criminals were coming in, they were paying airlines $150,000 per pop to fly these people into Texas and other areas of the country, thus keeping the border from being stacked up because the cameras and everybody else was paying attention and watching these tens and hundreds of thousands of migrants on the border. They quickly facilitated them into the United States to hide how many people were coming in. You want to talk about the fentanyl crisis and all these people that are now dying, and these people all over the place that look like zombies up in Philadelphia and in Baltimore and in Memphis? This is why it's so cheap. This is the literal destruction and intentional destruction of a country by this administration. It is nothing less. There's no other way you can paint this. They hid everything they did. They allowed it to happen. They didn't want it hitting the news, and so they dispersed all these people into the country. Fentanyl is 25 cents. Mexico wasn't helping. And the Republicans passed bill after bill after bill in the House, folding over and over and over again, not forcing this to be dealt with. So the Republicans are just as guilty and just as culpable as this administration. They knew it. And I'll tell you what, this is a prediction. Trump, I don't think they're going to let him get into office. But by some miracle, if he gets in and he wants to do these deportations, the Republicans will stop him. They'll say, we can't have these people on camera, crying at the end of, a weapon or whatever. We can't have this. This looks bad for the party. And they'll both work on a way to let 20 million people stay. Mark my words. That's what's going to happen. And if the Harris administration is left in, this will continue to happen. So now instead of 20 million over 4 years, we'll have another 20 or 30 million over the next 4 years. And now you're going to be looking at 50, 60 million known in this country being transported all over the place. This will destroy the country. We do not have the infrastructure. We do not have the money printers. We're already almost $36 trillion in debt. This will be the straw that breaks the back of the United States. And the worst part is they know it. They know it, but they're not worried about the inflation. They're not worried about the price of goods because they got the money. They're the ones in power. They're not worried about taking away your rights, your First Amendment, your Second Amendment, because they can say whatever they want. They have guards that have long-range hole punchers, that their guards will have the Second Amendment. You won't, though. So they don't care about protection. They don't care about free speech. They don't care about money. They'll have all of it. We'll have nothing. And we'll be the ones dealing with it in our small towns and getting a job and seeing the money printer go burr to try to give these people the free money and the free handouts, while the rest of us see hyperinflation. And if you don't believe it, we can talk about history, and I'm not going to go down that road today. This will break the country. This is why, even if there's people like myself or others that say, I'm not just like Trump is not perfect. He's got a lot of issues, and I'm sure he could have done a lot of things better. And he's a little bit part of the machine too. But there's a huge difference in the administration, in the economy and the border. And those two things will destroy us. And so, yes, some and many say it's voting for the worst or the best of two evils. I agree. I hate big government. But at this point, if they're not protecting our own borders, if they're willing to keep printing money because no one has the cojones to step up and say the entitlements and the free giveaways have to go. All you people on unemployment, get back to work. But now they can't because those jobs are being taken by immigrants, illegal immigrants. I'm telling you now, if the Harris administration is our next administration, we are in very, very, very deep shit. And it's not just because she's cackling and she's silly, because she's not running the show anyway, and neither is Biden. It's the deep state and the people that are flying out to Davos once a year, twice a year. They're gonna get their way, and it's gonna all come crashing down. And I do not mean that lightly. I genuinely don't.
Once these flights were stopped and the releases continued, California saw the true economic impact. I received calls from the governor's office, local mayors, and hospital administrators asking me if we could keep injured aliens in custody so the federal government would pay the medical bills. Through pressure from the administration, my headquarters became more interested in the fiction that being portrayed in the media and not at all concerned with reality. Each time we asked for help in dealing with a new issue, it fell on deaf ears. At times in San Diego, we had 2,000 or more aliens sitting in between the fences asking to turn themselves in. I was told to move them out of sight of the media. Meanwhile, Border Patrol agents are continually forgotten and neglected by the media and this administration. These agents deal with families that have spent months in terrible conditions, sickness, and despair. If you look at the dramatic rise in the number of suicides within the Border Patrol, it is directly correlated with the migrant surge. The agents have been pushed beyond their limit, and this has greatly impacted their physical and mental health. While current numbers of aliens crossing our border are lower in comparison in recent months, there's a reason for this. After nearly 4 years, this administration finally started to ask Mexico for help in slowing down the traffic through their country. This and other actions make a difference, but why has it taken so long? All of these tactics were being used before this administration took office, but this administration stopped or greatly limited them. I'm also concerned this will not be maintained. The problems we are facing at the border have solutions. These solutions can be quite simple and cost far less than the mess currently occupying so much time and money. The return to a policy of enforcing the law and returning illegal aliens to their home countries is required. Thank you.
I don't feel like I'm being hyperbolic or overstating when I say this can.
Chairman, distinguished members.
That this can literally destroy us. That this can literally destroy us. And, for an administration that says, whether it's Biden or Harris, this administration that says, we love you, we care about you, we just want to return to normal. We just want, the people that were compassionate and we love you, and they don't care about anybody. The Border Patrol suffers, they don't care. Having so many people come here illegally, there's 300,000 children missing. I get the kids in cage, but at least they were in the cages. At least they had a place where they were safe and they were looked after. And they were separated for a short time to do DNA or blood tests to make sure the person saying they were the parent is actually the parent and the kids weren't being trafficked. But now they don't even do that. Now there's 300,000 children missing. Where's Ocasio-Cortez crying at the border for that? Where's the news talking about that? We've got fentanyl just flying off across the border, ending, so many people's lives. And look, this is strong stuff. You go out there and for 25 cents, you buy one little tablet and decide to drop that in somebody's drink that you don't like. They're gone. It's poison. And then all the women and the women and children that are being raped, the people that are getting hit, the people that are dying in the desert, the people that are drowning in the rivers to get here. That's not compassion. Nothing about this is compassionate. It's hurting the people trying to get here. It's hurting the people that are already here. and meaning citizens, and the people that are being transported and placed that actually made it here, they're getting all the giveaways. They're getting all the freebies, and that's letting everybody else know to rush here. And if we don't stop them, again, I don't necessarily blame the immigrants. If you're someone in a poor country and you can take a plane over to Peru, and then you can take a plane to, I don't know, Guatemala, and then you can take a plane to Mexico and then drive across the border, I would do it too. But we can't help the world this way. It'll destroy us, and it's going to destroy us, and it's going to destroy Europe, and it's all done on purpose. Understand that. This isn't an accident. It was under control, and they said free healthcare, free border crossings, free giveaways, free houses, free cars, free medicine, free medical assistance. We're going to get, I mean, if we just kept it open, we'll get billions in at that point. So stupid. This is going to be how we fall. I guarantee you that.